Okay.
Sweet.
Hello. Welcome back to the Foil Project.
Yeah, thanks, guys.
Maybe we could start by just telling what happened just hours before we came to this podcast.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah. Good.
So I messaged the boys, Sven and Noah, and I told them, let's go to Scarborough up for a foil. Unfortunately, Sven at the moment hasn't been foiling. You've got a sore back or sore hip?
Like a dislocated disc or something like that.
Okay,
so
yeah.
And a sore hip as well, but yeah, getting there.
Yeah, but he's been right into the drone filming at the moment as well, so I guess we kind of made the most of that opportunity. But Sven, maybe you want to tell us, what was it like filming today? Did anything in particular happen?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, which I figured out, I think so 2 weeks ago on Sunday when I filmed the prone guys. There was a bunch of proners out there, like I think 15, 16, maybe more. And the lifeguard popped up and said, hey, it's not allowed to film or fly drones in Scarborough, like Stirling area.
Yeah.
And I think, okay, that's fine, all good. And the funny thing is, I just walked up, filmed you guys for 15 minutes, 20 minutes, something like that. The same lifeguard walked up and said, hey, guy, I remember you. No, that's not allowed. I think, oh, shit. Because like last time, it was really funny because, after 2 hours or something, I saw a police car up the road, parking there. And I looked up there and I said, shit, what's going on? And then the guy always waving at me, screaming, and start walking or running close to, over the sand. And I said, shit. And then I was escaping over the sand, running my ass off over the sand dunes. And then climbed over the fence in this little park in Brighton and landed a drone. And was quite...
was a full like police chase at that stage?
Full like police chase, And then I was looking and I think I had a jumper and I put off my jumper, my head, put off my head as well, put stuff to put the drone under my pocket, under my t-shirt and stuff like that. I was slowly walking back and see where I put everything in the car, and then I went to the boys and talked to them, like the prone guys, and then Will made like so much fun out of me and said, oh, shit, you're escaping the police and stuff like that. No fugitive here.
How'd the back and the hip go after?
That was the next day, and my hip was like killing me. Because like walking over sand, I think that's the worst thing what you can do when you have a bad hip or bad back. So that's like, I was actually running over there and like fucking it. That was really funny.
The community of foilers in Perth have definitely benefited from your filming recently. There's been a heap of good clips flying around.
There was a good car park story as well.
Yeah, definitely.
Some great posts.
Well, maybe for people who don't know you so well, Sven, do you want to just let us know how you got into foiling and
how'd you become Svenny Foils?
Yeah.
From Svenny boy to Svenny Foils.
Exactly.
I think it started 2018. Because I saw Shannon.
Yep.
Dock starting from this platform at Gracetown.
Okay.
I think that was the first time, and I saw Kai Lenny doing it also, and I saw him and said, shit, that looks pretty cool. And then a mate of mine as well bought a slingshot foil also in 2018, and we tried dock starting from Hillary's and tried it behind a boat. And then, end of 2018, I was saying, that's so cool, I need something. And I ordered an Axis foil.
Can I also just jump in there and say, for people who don't know Shannon, that's Larry Foiler.
Yeah.
And we've also got him on the podcast if you want to go check that one out. But
little plug. Legend.
Legend.
And then I bought my first Axis foil setup. And that's where everything started. But first it started with kite surfing, because I was kite surfing before, so it was normal surfing all during winter times, and summer I was really into kite surfing. But at the moment I bought the foil setup, I started on the kite because it was the easiest way, I thought, starting it. And then straight away, because I have a jet ski, we did straight away towing on this little tray boards and things like that. It was good fun, and I loved it straight away on this old like red fuselages and all these gull wings like what they had there this time, and that was pretty cool. And then I think it was like 3-4 months later, I saw the first wings, and I said, shit, I need some of those wings.
This is Ensis?
Ensis wings,
yeah, okay.
The Ensis wings, and then I ordered 2 of them.
Yep.
Yeah, and that was there, and then I was straight away hooked.
Yeah.
And the funny thing is, I was chasing a board because I'm pretty heavy, and there was not much around. The foils were, you have like 2 like front wings or something like that, and that was pretty it what I had. But getting the right board for doing winging was really hard. And I looked at all like marketplace or like the shops. The shops didn't have anything or too small or didn't fit me. Like I want something with 100, 120, 130 liters and something. And in the end, I bought a blow-up gong board from France.
Wow.
Oh, wow.
And that was actually my first wingboard, and I think I bought it and I ordered in September or something like that, and got it in October, and I was lucky because it just COVID hit in February or something like that. I ordered that board, and we planned actually to going for travel during COVID, like through Australia, because we thought I can't work at the moment, so I thought, okay, just buy a caravan and we travel. And I thought, like this blow-up board would be really nice.
Yeah.
And so
how many liters was that blow-up board? How big was it?
145.
Okay. Yeah.
It was only a 5.4 or something like that.
Okay. Yeah.
When I bought it and said, oh, maybe the wife can stand-up pedal it. Fuck, it was so wobbly. It was the worst thing ever. It was really, really hard to learn on it because it was real 140 liters, but super tippy to the side, to everything. It was really hard to learn on it, actually. And a lot of literage, but it was maybe too much literage. It was like too buoyant. So then we started traveling, went up to Exmouth, and that's where I learned winging, actually. I was already starting prone and stuff like that, and then I started winging, and that was pretty good fun.
It's a pretty awesome spot to learn how to wing foil, isn't it?
It was so good. One of the best, I would say one of the best spots, landscape-wise and everything, and like waves and
awesome. What are your thoughts on like inflatable boards just after using that one? Would you ever go back to one?
Nah, never.
Never?
It's really hard. It's hard to say because they definitely improved, I reckon.
Yeah.
And this one was really flexy. You can pump it up like 15, 16 psi. It was not too bad. It had this carbon fuser, carbon tracks, and it was not. But it was really. When I just tried on like a normal board, and I said, shit, I know it's way easier than a blow-up board. But I think I wouldn't go back. Maybe if you travel or something like that. But I would say maybe go for a smaller board or something like that. It packs. It's not small to pack down. So
it probably packs down to still like 4-1.
I wouldn't say no. I wouldn't go back. Maybe I should try another one, but I still think it's not that solid. And at the moment, what you want is always like solid connection to everything, to your board, to the foil, and everything like that. The connection is nice.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah.
Just back to early days of like toe foiling behind the ski and stuff like that.
Actually, I know the first feeling when I tried it the first time on the slingshot thing. I said, shit, that's such a cool feeling. It's like flying. It's so cool. And then at the moment I figured it out what you can do actually, if you can turn and this glide on little bumps. I was hooked straight away. I was actually, that's the best thing ever. There was also the moment then when I said, okay, I'll never touch a surfboard again. I really like, and I think I touched my shortboard like 3.5-4 years ago.
Wow.
Last time. And also my kites, I forgot my wing. I think like half a year, 6 months later, I sold all my kites and everything.
Wow.
Because I was like, I think that it's nothing better because this feeling what you have the first time it lifts up and you're flying, and then you figure out how to turn and stuff like that. It's like it's an amazing feeling.
Completely different feeling to surf.
But in the beginning I first thought it's dangerous with the mast and everything like that. So but I always use a helmet. So
Did you ever get into kite foiling, or that wasn't something?
I did. Okay. I first started kite foiling, and then wing. Or kite foiling and towing was the same time, then prone actually, and then winging.
So from an outside perspective, from me, kite foiling seems pretty like awesome, and I heard it's super fast.
Yeah.
So why did you pick wing foiling over kite foiling?
Because you're not attached. Yeah. Because I'm not that. I like speed, but I'm not like this into racing stuff like that. What most of the guys do when they go kite foiling, they're into racing. I was more like I went always out on a small 5-7 meter kite and try to chase the bumps.
Yeah.
But you figure out you're sometimes way too fast on the foil and overtake your kite, and then the kite falls down or something like that. It's really hard to.
You enjoy cruising.
Yeah, I like to hit. Get some small bumps or something like that, and that's like.
Yeah,
and then
cool.
with the wing, when I saw the first wing videos, it was like, wow, it was so good. It was that's the thing you don't have to be unhooked or like, you can not attach to anything. You can depower straight away and can cruise around downwind or doing some turns and stuff like that. Yeah.
Well, with your experience of winging, obviously, you've probably gotten pretty good at reading bumps and the swells. So has that helped you with your downwinding experiences?
I think it will help me. I just got up like 2 or 3 months ago the first time, so I started pretty late downwinding now. But with my back, it's not helping. Definitely, it's hard on the back, and it's still. I feel still like the downwind process at the moment. I feel just like when I started foiling, because when I started foiling, there was not much gear around for heavier riders. I tried so much stuff and so many wings, different fuses, different mast lengths and boards to find the right board, because everybody said that's good, and you speak to guys and they're around 60 to 80, 85 or 90 kilos. But if you're heavy, there's not many people around there doing that. Also, then if you go into jumping with the wing and things like that, so that's and that's the same with the downwind stuff. When I started, and try this board or something like that, and I said, okay, try that. And 8.6, 130 liters. I thought, okay, that's fine. But nah, it was way too small, and I need a little bit more, I think. But I'm not an expert on downwind foiling, so it's hard to find. I would love to see some guys who see the podcast. They're around 110 kilos, around 2 meters. Let me know if you go downwinding and what gear you're using and how you figure it out, how it works. Because I always think when I see all the guys when I go out and try downwinding, they're standing proper on it and they're wobbly around, but they're still standing nicely on it.
Yeah.
But I'm completely out of balance. I can keep it if I'm going really down in my knees to keep the gravity or like the gravity down there. So then it works pretty well. But then when you're going down, you're out of balance. Yeah, it's really hard. So if you're tall, heavy, I think you need, and there's not much gear around. Yeah. Finally, for normal foiling, winging, prone, they always figured out the heavier guys doing it, and it's like there's lots of gear, and you can speak to other people that are doing it. But downwind foiling, I think it's still in the same.
It's still that phase where it's just trying to get
like there. I felt like 4 years ago when I started normal foiling, or and then texted all the other guys, or Adrian from X, and say, hey, what is that? Or like, or Shannon, and say, Shannon is like half the, try this one. I think, nah, that's not. Not working, or like or it feels completely different. So it's like it's really funny.
Well, as well as you're really tall and obviously a lot heavier than Hugh and I. So when we change mast lengths and stuff like that, we don't really feel that much of a difference. But do you, like, if you went up a mast length to a longer mast, do you find like that's a lot harder and a lot?
Yeah, not harder, but I feel the flex.
The flex,
that's what I straight away, because in the beginning when I started the Ali mast, we were using this, I think the 75 for everything, and then they came out. I think then I had a 90 mast for kiting. For kiting was not too bad because you are powered and hooked in, so you can't feel the flex or something like that. But at the moment I tried it for winging, it was like so wobbly, and went back to the 75 and then finally got an 82 or something like Ali mast, and it was way better. But a 90 mast for me is always, if it's not a stiff mast, it's really challenging. I straight away feel it. It's like it's like
well, it's funny talking to someone that's not, because we've had a fair few people on the podcast that are sort of around our sort of height and weight, so it's really interesting talking to someone that's like has a completely different experience with the same gear.
And now that's really funny. Now there's some good stories. Like, it was really famous, the 999.
The 999 blew out. Yeah,
it blew up and everything was frothing. And I got this 999 and I was so excited. And I said, yes. I went on, what a shit wing. I can't figure it out, and it was so weird. And I said, and I was using it on the 75 and 82 Ali mast.
Yeah.
I said, I see it. I see what it can do, but it went through the turbulence, and it was really, really weird feeling, and I could handle it. And I said, nah. And I straight away sold it. I think I sold it after 3 weeks or 4 weeks. And I said, nah, I don't want it. Because I bought it, this time I was not with Axis, but I just bought like all the stuff, and it was really cool. Yeah. And I said, straight away put it on the ring, and it sold straight away. And then once Adrian hooked me up with the high modulus mast, like the 82 high modulus mast.
Yeah.
And a mate of mine had all these art wings, and I said, oh, cool. I tried this art wing again because everybody was frothing. And then I said, okay. I tried it once, tow in, small bumps, and prone as well. And I said, shit, now I understand what it is. It pumps so easy, and it was not, before I was pumping and I was swinging to one side, and it was not, and through the turbulence, I can't control it. But with this new solid mast, it was all like complete different feeling. And I said, shit, that's really cool.
Wow.
That's really cool.
So,
yeah.
I mean, I guess I actually just had a shot yesterday trying the Code, their new high modulus masts that they've just tried. And my immediate impressions were like straight away you try it as a lightweight rider.
Yeah.
For me, the difference wasn't huge, especially like surf foiling on a light board. But you notice that response, like that like moment that you turn, it turns straight away.
Yeah, you have the straight connection to it.
Exactly,
and it hits in.
And then initially, like I found it quite weird, but then going back to the mast that's like not as stiff, it feels not as good straight away. Yeah. And I don't know, like it's kind of one of those things that once you go there, it's really hard to go back.
Yeah, it's always like that, But it's funny because before like 2 or 3 years ago, many brands said, oh, it's good, you need this flex for surfing. And now they're going stiffer and stiffer. Or like, But I think a stiff connection also for the lighter guys, but you said you can feel the solid connection or the direct connection to the turn is really...
Yeah.
And you won't go back. If you try it once, you think, oh, shit, it feels really cool. And it's like,
I think about probably because that kind of mast that's the normal stiffness is probably what like a super stiff mast might feel like for you.
Yeah.
Like, so if yours mast might feel like really floppy, I don't even know what that would feel like, to be honest, because as a light rider, you just might never experience that sensation.
Try that old Axis.
Yeah.
What is it like the carbon mast what they had?
Mm-hmm.
The first one they brought out.
The first one what they brought out. That was I couldn't foil on it. I was actually going from one side to the other. And I thought it will break sometimes because I couldn't foil straight. I was swinging to one side to the other. I tried from Kent.
Yeah.
We went towing once and he was using it and we just shared one board. I said, mate, I can't use it. Give me my Ali mast or whatever. It was it's really, really bendy and things like that. So
One thing that shocked me as well is the pumping efficiency. Like I really didn't expect to feel pumping efficiency, like getting more from a mast being stiffer. I don't know, like in my head that just didn't seem like two things that would correspond to one another. But after trying it, you notice that the stiffer mast, you definitely can pump it easier.
You will see maybe when you watch some videos, when I just started this filming with the drone and stuff like that. And I would go through lots of video. And I say now, Ian Austin, he came, maybe I need a stiffer mast or something. And he was using actually this Axis first carbon mast what they brought out. And I have footage from him, I send it to him, and you can see actually he's swinging from one side to another. And he always said, when I'm pumping, I can't figure out how to pump. It feels always not getting enough glide of it, he said. And I said, and then I sent you some video. Look at the video what I took with the drone from you, and then you can see he's swinging from one side to the other, so he's not getting much glide out of it. And he changed to the high modulus mast, and that's when it's like day and night. It's like
it is easier,
so easy to pump, so easy because you can see actually the people they swinging on like flexi mast, they're flinging from one side, and it's more noticeable for heavier riders. Maybe like super experienced rider can balance it, or I don't know. But if you see like the normal guys, they pump. You can see them. If somebody's on a floppy mast, I think you see them. They're swinging from one side. And they struggle. They're compensating all the time to get it and then they're not gliding. They don't get much glide of it. They have to pump really hard. So if you have a stiff mast, I think so, and then you have the direct feeling that you get one pump and you have this glide, and you go.
Yeah, cool. Or maybe that's like the challenge for brands, I guess, is to make a stiff mast that's not going to completely break the bank as well.
That would be perfect.
Well, because all these new high modular masts and everything coming out now, they look like the price tags are definitely increasing with like the new technology and.
They're pretty expensive, but they're worth every penny, 100%. So it's the same with the Ultra Pro mast from Axis now. When I got this one, I was not a big fan of the ART Pro, especially the bigger wings. I always struggled on them. Similar, like I didn't have this feel. Everybody was frothing and saying, and also they used it for downwinding and saying they can really turn nice and have this little skatey feeling and things like that. I never had this. I always was slipping on it. And since I used this mast, I feel now.
Yeah,
it works, especially the 1051 what I was using for downwinding with the wing. So it was really cool to see,
the difference in that, like that tiny change of
the stiffness and the solid connection, and also it's a bit faster. If you can feel if you're flying, it's going high on the limit. It's changing in another gear. It goes like boop. It's like full on. It's really cool. Yeah, I love it. But it's a high priced one, but it's worth every penny. 100%. It's worth it definitely if it's But hopefully they can make something cheaper soon.
Yeah, that's right.
With the same stiffness and everything. Yeah.
I was wanting to just jump to when you started toe foiling. You were using wings that at that stage were probably very low aspect and quite like, I don't know if viewers can see, but like this sort of shape, quite thick through the cord and very thick as well. How have you found toe foiling's changed with these new wings coming out for you? Have you switched over to them, or what wings have you been using?
But I still want to say like the old, what is it, the SP wings from Axis, the old one, the surf one, they look like a gull wing.
Yeah.
They're sick wings, and I still have a mate who's an older guy who's always using them in Manda and still using them, and they're sick wings, and it's amazing when I go with him how fast he still go on this like 6-year-old wing or 5-year-old wing. It's amazing how he rips on it, and it's a cool wing, and it had a lot of lift. But the new wings they're totally different because they're way faster, way tighter, more efficient, tighter turns, especially the Spitfires and things like that. I love the Spitfire. When I had the first go on the Spitfire, it's like that's what I was looking for, because I was skating when I was young and stuff like that, and I looked for this like surfy bowl thing going on. And that's the Spitfire rode so good, and it's amazing.
So we're still talking about wings and different Axis gear. What would be your go-to now for towing, your go-to for your proning, and your go-to for wing?
For setup for wingding, I would use a 90 mast.
Yeah,
definitely 90 mast.
And you don't find they're too flexy anymore? You prefer
because I have the Ultra Pro mast. It's like super. Before I used the 82 high modulus, but I think it's also a really cool mast for like you can prone it because it's a cool length. 82 centimeters, really really nice length. But when you have only one mast. But then I would use like a 82. But I found the 90 mast, because 90 mast is good for winging and for towing. For prone, it's way too much, and for downwind as well. So, but for winging, I definitely would use like when I go Lancelin and doing like wave riding, I use definitely a Spitfire 900 to 960, sometimes a 840 Spitfire wing and an ultra short fuselage. Normally, I use always ultra shorts, and the advanced one, which sits a little bit more forward. So like it sits like I think it sits 60 centimeters forward than the normal one. So in the advanced plus, it's really nice.
Cool. Really cool. Do you want to just, how about other equipment you're using? There's the Axis board in the background. Have you got to use that yet?
I got
Okay.
Before I got back injured, I used that one. That's a really good board. It's also like, I used it for a few times proning and tried some prone stuff. It was really nice, easy pedaling and easy to get it up. It's only 37 liters, maybe a little bit, so 4.5, I think maybe 4.7, 4.8 would be easier for my size to getting it up. Same literage, but a little bit longer would be maybe easier for me to getting it up. But it's still, it's amazing for a 4.5 foot board. It goes up like really well. And for towing, I never had a board like this before.
What's the main thing? Is there some design features you like about it that you think are...
I think the construction, I can't tell them much about the construction, I don't know, but it feels really solid and really, really super connected. And it's like, if you're hitting, like going fast and go into a turn, it feels like you're on a rail. It's not slipping or something like that. It feels like a super solid connection. I never had that feeling before. I said, shit, that's amazing. You can go really fast, and it's getting scary when you're going fast and hammer in a turn. And you think you're falling, and it goes through it, and it's like, whoa. It's a cool feeling. So
Is that initial release from like proning, the initial release out of the water? Is it got like the designs on the bottom and everything like that? Like the
it's really easy to pop up, really easy. And if it touches down, it pops straight up. It's really nice. It's thick. I think it's really good. It has no footsteps, so it's more designed, I reckon, for prone. So but it's pretty cool. But I normally don't use footsteps because footsteps, it's.
One thing I noticed immediately looking at it, we can't really see it very well from or maybe that camera angle can see, but the like kind of pin tail that it has at the back. I know the Prone board that I've been using sort of has that shape where you get like a nice skinny tail.
Yeah.
I find for like doing turns, it's really nice that you don't touch down and you can lean over pretty hard before like a wingtip pops out or you're touching down, which is cool.
No, that's really cool. If the tail pulls in, I think that's a cool feature that you can lean really hard into the turns and it feels so good if you're not touching. If you're touching, also it releases really easy. It's not like grabbing. There's some that they grab into the water, but this one is like, but it's really hard to touch actually because it's like it's really pulled in. So and I like also it's a little bit like this retro shape. But I think maybe the red makes it as well.
It's almost like that retro fish.
Something like that. Yeah, it's just like, I like the shape. It's really cool. Yeah.
Well, talking about all this Axis gear, we better get into how that all came about. You getting your sponsorship with Axis.
It's not. It's
partnership.
It's more like a partnership.
Sorry.
Yeah, it came when was it, like a year ago, year and a half, something like that. When Adrian was here, something like that, I spoke to him and said it would be cool to get some gear to test out and having some heavier riders to try some gear, and he knew that I was breaking a lot of stuff in the beginning stage when everything started with foiling, and so I reckon it started like that. That he said, okay, we put you on and give you some gear to test and see what you think. And
Oh, cool. So what type of gear were you breaking earlier?
Well, a lot, like in the beginning, like lots of masts, like bending masts. And fuselages, like in the beginning, all the fuselages were very, very thin, and also the outer wall, or what you say, of the fuselage was pretty thin. They got like hairline cracks, and I broke one, and wings as well. Like wings, they were like they were too flexy, especially when I started then jumping. And then I started jumping with bigger boards, like 100-liter boards or 90-liter boards, and there's a lot of force on it, I think. So, and on the mast and stuff like that. So lots of mast and fuselages and stuff like that. But I must say, like the last year, I didn't break any fuselages or something like that because it's going out. They get all beefed up. And also the wings getting. I never never broke a wing in the last 1.5 years, something like that. So it's pretty.
Yeah, you're probably a very valuable person. Because
but it's not really funny because when I come into the foil shop in Freer, the guys already say, or Mon says, or Sylvie says, Sven, what you break today?
And is that normally why you're going in, or are they?
But in the beginning stage, they always say, what you broke again? It's okay, But But I think everything at the foiling was years ago was all the beginning status, and everybody had to figure out if you're a heavy rider, there's a lot of force. And then when I started jumping and stuff like that, it's like there's a lot of things happening. And so also boards and like mast tracks and things like that. They were like
Are you finding the amount of stuff that you break? I feel like you've mentioned this before, but it's definitely decreasing now. These problems are like being sorted out.
Yeah, definitely.
And you think it's like because you're spending more money on the gear, like construction wise, or is it because the brands have like actually stared to make them much stronger?
I think the brands make, when you look at it, also like the fuselage and the mast and everything, that got more beefed up and like thicker. And like in the beginning, everybody was also into like getting lighter and lighter stuff. And now more, you want it light, but also you have to compromise, and I think you're getting some solid stuff that lasts you for years. It's maybe better than you have something super light and you do one jump and it breaks or something like that. So that's why I think they're starting like beefing everything up, and like also like the wings and stuff like that. I broke my wings from Ansys. I ripped the handle off.
Wow. Okay.
And then maybe you guys know Balz Müller. He's riding for Ansys, like a Swiss guy.
Okay,
He's really famous on Instagram. He's doing like windsurfing and stuff like that. He's a crazy. You have to look him up. He's crazy.
Oh, actually, he's not the Radiclo guy? That's the guy, he's ridiculous. He does ridiculous, some crazy stuff.
And it was funny, and I was sending a message. And I'm sending him a message saying, no, that's not possible. You can't rip out the handle off and things like that. And I said, I ripped it off. Sorry. And they sent a new one actually to me.
Really?
And I ripped the handle off from this as well. And then, what are you doing with these wings? And I said, I didn't do nothing. I started jumping and but there's a lot of force. When I pump, you're using small boards like sinker boards, and you pump, there's a lot of force. And I did this, and and I had the handle in my hand.
Wow.
So yeah, but I think that's all improved now. All the wings, what I like, the SMIC wings or what I used now, and PPC, nothing happens like rip the handle off again. I wouldn't say also when I use an NSYS or something, I wouldn't rip a handle off now because they all improved. They went to this learning curve, and it worked definitely for the main people. It worked really well.
Yeah.
But if they have like a heavier guys or something like that, it's funny. But I texted Balz and he said, "Nah, that's impossible. I'm using them for years and never had, and I'm doing this crazy stuff." And I said, "No, I know what you're doing, but I just want to let you know I ripped this handle off."
Yeah.
So no, it's funny.
Sven, I'm not sure if you've watched the latest podcast we've done, but we've been doing a little segment where we try get some foiling stories in.
Yeah.
So I don't need to put you on the spot. We can tell our foil stories first, but if you have any in mind that you'd like to just talk us through, it could be best moment, craziest moment, or like worst moment.
The funny thing is, all the time I'm going out.
Yeah.
I'm always frothing. I think that's the best day ever. It's like I'm always like when we go out in Leno, and I come back and I say, "It's so good. It was the best day." And like, it's really hard to find to say what was the best thing.
Yeah.
But I would definitely one the best thing when I first tried the first time behind the ski and went on to foil. I think that was one of the craziest feeling I had.
Yeah.
Because it was so, and then figuring out to turn.
Yeah.
Would love to have some footage because I must be smiling over both ears like completely because I think that was one of the coolest feeling. But yeah.
Well, I don't think we've. There's been very rare occasions where you don't enjoy a foil.
Yeah.
There was one time I remember Hugh, Max, and I went down to Yellingup and was foiling Yellingup Main. And on the way out, we're like, "Oh, it looks awesome! It's gonna be so much fun." And we jumped off the reef and paddled out with the foils. And quite quickly realised the current was just ripping through there.
Yeah.
and that
to put in some perspective, we were sort of looking at it like, this is really big, but we think we can do it. We're like, we're pretty cool, we're pretty tough, we can do this. And got out there and realised that, nope.
It was really big. And then, on the way in, and even like just trying to stay in the spot, you're constantly paddling, like that extra 3 feet of foil below you, just the current just grabs it and just takes you. So that's probably the one time where I haven't enjoyed a foil because the whole time.
You went back then and what is it called, rapids, or what is it then?
We had to come in through rapids.
I was out there as well, and I was like, I'm proning for half a year, and I thought, that should be fine. I just figured out how to pump back to waves and things like that. Okay, that's good. And I had also the current, and I tried to get in this gear, and I was paddling for ages, like on the spot. It was like horrible.
There's definitely.
It's a really
And it's also
a funny
just
spot.
on the beach. It's just a hectic beach break as well coming in. So it's like I remember one day as well. We watched. We must have been surfing, and we watched your dad come in with a wing and he had a wingding as well, and just absolutely getting smoked.
My dad actually has a pretty funny story trying to get in through there, and we just got like a new dog. My dog's name's Lakey, and he saw Dad coming in through the shore break and went, "Oh, look, that's my dad. I'll go out and like greet him." And so he jumped into the waves like right near there. Yeah. And I think Dad, I can't remember exactly what happened, but I'm pretty sure he ended up sacrificing his foil gear to make sure that his dog didn't get destroyed on the rabbit shore break. But it gets pretty hairy there.
Yeah. No, that's pretty cool.
Any other moments you want to share? Otherwise,
I had. I think one cool moment when I decided to do a downwinder from Mandra to Sorrento.
Yeah.
I always had that in mind, but I first thought, maybe doing it from Mandra to Fremantle or something like that, and then we went down. It was 2 years ago. Or something.
How many kilometers is it from Mandra to?
It was under 199 something, I think, so 98 or something. Just under. But the plan was not going to hold away Sorrento. At first was like going to Rockingham and then, maybe Fremantle, and then I went all the way through.
Wow.
Yeah, and that was pretty cool moment. I did that like 2 years ago, but on the wing. It was pretty cool. But it was funny because we went down with the family actually on a dolphin trip or something like that.
Do you maybe just want to like wind back and just talk us through that whole experience? So
I had this idea to do a long downwinder, maybe because we did the cut run once, and I think the cut run was really nice because the cut to what is it,
I'm not sure, I haven't done it before.
Secret or something like that. Secret Harbor, and it's a sick run. It's like nice bumps. It's like, it's amazing. I think, okay, that would be cool to do, like going from Mandra, maybe a cut run, or going further to Frio or something like that. And I had this always in my mind, and then we went down with the family on a dolphin tour, and then wind picked up around 11. I said, it's picking up early. And I said to the wife, hey, can you drop me at Town Beach? And I paddle further out, and then I do the downwind and send you my location, and then you can pick me up maybe in Rockingham or something like that. Or if I go further free or something like that, then you pick me up, see how far I go. And that's actually how it went. I jumped there to grab some Red Bulls in the life jacket, a muesli bar.
Yeah.
I went off, and I put the live tracker on, I think so on WhatsApp or something, that they can follow me where I am. Mm-hmm. And then I went all the way to Secret. That was sick. That was really good. And then the worst bit what I found was from Rockingham, because I decided going not around Garden Island.
You went on the inside?
Inside through the bridge. And there was lots of weed as well. It was a little bit annoying. It was like, and then there was like lots of sea life in the water. And then once I was foiling, and look, it was just before you go under the bridge and you go through there's lots of waves coming in.
Yeah.
And I looked behind me, and there was a shark, not a big one, but it was like 1.50 meters behind me, chasing the foil or something like that. Shit, I was shitting myself. I don't know why, because it was not that big, but I was like, so shit, what happens when I fall and things like that. And I was actually falling after. I think I fall after seconds later. I fall in the water because I was so scared of the shit. And it felt like it took me 10 minutes to get up on the foil, because I was shaking and I was really, it had hit my face.
Oh, wow.
So get all sorted, Sven, get it all sorted. And then I was thinking, if the wing pops and I have to pedal back all the way, and that's, but then finally I got up.
Yeah.
And went through under the bridge, and there was lots of weed and stuff like that, and big ships as well coming through. So I think it's better going around Garden Island, because also if you're going through there, I thought it's closer to the shore or something like that if you're going the inside. But it's still like, I think it's from Garden Island. It's closer to Garden Island, because to shore I think it's 5 km or something like that.
Yeah.
It's still like it's like it's like.
But I guess you're not on like a jagged coastline at the same time. In some ways, there's no swell and things. So,
but then I went all the way to Fremantle to Port Beach.
Yeah.
It was around 4:30 or something like that.
Okay.
And I said, shit. Called the wife and said, hey, where are you? And they were still in the city having some fish and chips. And I said, okay, I do. Quickly, I go to Sorrento then.
Cool.
So, and I went then to Sorrento, and that was pretty cool also. This section, also like from Rockingham, when you come through around Garden Island, then it starts getting better. Coochie or what it is, it's getting better there. And then another, it's nice going from Port to Sorrento. It's really nice. There's like sick bumps, and it was a good day. And I think it was on that. It was an ART 1099. It was a big wing, but it was good because it had a lot of glide, and you can flag out and you can relax a little bit.
So most of the time you were flagging out on the way down. Okay, cool.
Most of the time flagging out,
Yeah.
And then Sorrento, and then it was funny because I rocked up Sorrento. The sun was just going down. It was almost, it was like almost dark already. And there was one pedal guy coming in, and he said, "Oh, what you guy doing?" And I said, "I did a downwinder." "Yeah, from where you did the downwinder?" And I say, "From Mandra." And I said, "Nah, from where? Not where you're living. Where you did the downwinder?" And I said, "Yeah, from Mandra." No way. It was really funny. Yeah.
I mean, that is a crazy long distance.
Yeah, it was cool. And
how did your body feel at the end of that one? Was you?
It was not too bad actually.
No? Okay.
It was because if you're flagging out and you don't have to pump that much.
Yeah.
Because you don't. I think when you're doing with a pedal down here, you have to pump a lot, and with the wing you grab quickly the wing to power up, and then it's not too bad. I felt it definitely the next day, but I thought it would be hurt like muscle pain all the way for a few days, but no, it was really good.
Yeah,
and then I thought maybe doing one from Sorrento now to Lansing. That was actually the goal for this year, but I hadn't the chances to back and things like that because that is the only thing. But I think Sorrento Lansing is the next one, but I think that's way harder because from the coastline, I think Lansing is a little bit harder. You have to go like far out, I think so a little bit, and so and it's a heavier swell, I think so as well. So we'll see if we're doing that, and maybe we're doing it with a group. Yeah, because doing it alone, it's like it's tricky, and it's
definitely.
It's scary as well.
It's scary as well. So or maybe with a boat or something like that. But I think with a few guys, and it's also more fun, and then you can stop somewhere, have a rest or something, and talk to somebody, talking to some funny stories, what happened or what you see or something like that. So,
On the topic of foiling stories, I've got a really good one here actually that Andrew Reedy sent in.
Oh, nice. Must be a good one.
Yeah, it is good. He's written actually out beautifully, so I hope I can do him justice by reading it.
Yeah,
but I feel like this one's just it's a cool message about like what the foiling community has been like, and I feel like Sven's a pretty big epitome of what this is and like how people are, but maybe I should just read it and we'll see. So Reedy says, I wanted to share this story with you. I haven't told many people of this before, and I'm not sure I'll be able to articulate it in words. My background, like most of us, was surfing and surf culture. I sought out foiling primarily as another option to utilize when the waves weren't good enough to surf. I bought a prone setup and took it out at the only place I had ever seen someone else foil. It was terribly onshore, crappy 1/2 foot waves with shallow reef everywhere. I couldn't believe it when a guy driving past me saw me out there on his way home from work and came out and joined me to foil. He was so friendly. I really had not experienced this in the water before from strangers. He was so excited for me and was helpful in being able to unlock a glide or two in that first session. We foiled junk waves for about an hour and discussed so much technical stuff that honestly, I probably was only able to retain about 1% of it. He was also building his own boards, and that was fascinating to me. He explained the build process, and I compared what I'd done building surfboards in the past. I knew this was going to be a rabbit hole that I couldn't help but jump into, which sounds like a lot of us, I think. Within a day or two, I realized that although foiling was absolutely the way forward, prone in summer was not viable. I then bought a SUP and continued down that journey. I stayed in touch with this original foiler, and he gave me so much time and tools to start my own foil boards building journey. He instilled in me a mindset that there are many ways to perform a build and just not to be afraid of failure. When I reflect upon this journey with the interaction I had with this foiler and how much time and knowledge he gave me so early on, it was unlike any interaction I had had in surfing, ever. I knew at this point this sport was something special when it encourages individuals to act like that. Completely class. It's something I reflect on often when in this sport, when being asked questions or taking phone calls or gear advice. I always want to be to the other people what was shown to me on that day. It was a beautiful thing, and honestly, I think the Downwind foiling culture and other foiling cultures worldwide absolutely nail it. So, I mean, that's a pretty awesome story to hear.
It's really cool.
Yeah, that's an awesome story. I have another one here from Dan Ewing, which is not anywhere close to as long as that one from Reedy. He really...
But yeah, can I say...
Yeah.
It's so cool. That's what I also love on foiling, like this that everybody's helping each other.
Yeah.
And also this car park talks. You rock out to the car park and everybody's talking about gear and stuff like that and what you can improve and things like that.
Right.
It's so cool. And I never experienced that with surfing.
Yeah.
Also not with kite surfing. So that's why it's so cool. And everybody's helping and everybody's frothing every time. And it's like, it's so cool. It's like, I love that. It's
the 10 years or 12 years of surfing I've done. I've had maybe 1 or 2 chats in the car park with surfers, and like, you know, it was, but every single time you go foiling, you talk to someone and they go, oh, what are you riding? What, you know,
like today.
Exactly.
Exactly. Kite foiling.
Yeah.
And he like straight away called an hour. And it's a funny thing. He called me like 3 months ago or something. I wanted some advice about kite. And he's using this old Kite series from Axis, like this. It's 6-7 years old. I don't know. It's really old. And he tried then some Spitfires and stuff like that, and he was like, oh, it's so cool. And now we talked today, and I was and I said, he should try winging, because I started also over kite surfing, like foiling kite surfing and stuff like that, and then winging. And when you grab the wing, you never touch a surfboard, you never touch a kite. And oh shit, no, I have to invest more money. But yeah, that's pretty cool. So
I mean, one thing I'd like to just say on that is I feel like for everyone who is listening and in foiling, it's not just like we shouldn't take for granted that this is how it is. Like it does take you, if you're a foiler, like keep this culture, because it is so awesome. It's such an amazing thing to be a part of.
No, it's so cool.
You know, it's one of those things where like you hand it on, don't you? So if someone does it to you, you're more likely to do it to them, and it's just going to keep spreading, and that's an awesome thing to happen.
Definitely.
It's been. Oh well, I'll do.
Now we can jump to the next story.
This is a lot shorter, but you know, it's still a great story. Dan Ewing, who was on, we had him on 2 episodes ago. Obviously. 2 minutes and 47 seconds up on foil, go foil, GT 2200 from Cot to Swanee. Linking and surfing and pumping. I'll never forget it. The 2.2 took me about 12 minutes. First win, and I'll never forget.
Yeah. I think there's something about that as well, isn't there? Your first win, you unlock it, and you know it's just feels so good.
Yeah.
That's also a cool thing. When I first time start paddling and I've got it finally up on one bump, it's like so far. And then the coolest thing is you put the paddle away. Holding the paddle, like you don't need the paddle, you go, you're cruising, you think, oh my god, it's so cool. And I was so excited, came straight away, like after 10 meters I came down because I was so excited. I finally got it up, and it's pretty cool. Really
reading this story, you just know he was typing, just frothing behind the phone. It's just it's excited. It's an excitable story.
I think that's foiling does have a lot of like pretty achievable goals, I think, as well, in that you can kind of say like, I'm not saying sometimes they're very challenging goals, but they are achievable. It's like paddling up or just linking to your second wave. And it can take so much work to get there, but once you do get there, it just feels so good.
So good.
Yeah.
And you can see if the people coming back from a foil or something, or beginners, and you see they're smiling over the face. Yeah. And saying, oh, it's so cool, and I finally got onto foil, and how cool it feels there. It's amazing.
Yeah, keep sending in your stories. We love reading them, and we love seeing the DMs coming in, everyone who sends them in.
Yeah, really want to encourage people to send in stories. I love reading them out, and it's great to like react to them and get
them. That's why I say maybe some stories also of big riders. I want to see
exactly
big guys' stories. What they actually joined a Facebook group they call Big Dogs, wing foiling big dogs. It's really funny. That you have to be over 100 kgs or something like that. But then most of them are wing foilers, so it's really funny. So
maybe
really
we should just steal a couple off there and read them out in the next episode.
We need some stories about people breaking stuff and anything you have.
I actually did have one more thing written down. This is something slightly separate. I just wanted to talk about John Mann. We spoke about him on the last episode. Got to meet him when I was over in Barcelona. And this is just a quick piece. He said he was the only person to do all 4 Hawaiian races. So there was one which was the day before the M2O, and he went out and did it. And this is just a little snippet. He has a blog, which is pretty cool to read if people would like to read it. I'll just read a tiny snippet.
So just quickly before that, there's a day in between the M2O and M2M.
I think it's a lay day, or like,
and
they're doing like a charity.
Yes, exactly. And if you listen to the last one, Crystal and Ange did this run called the Camelo Run, and he rocked up to it like the only person who was doing the only person who rocked up to it who was doing the M2O the next day and went, you're not doing it tomorrow, are you? Oh. And so I think he realized that he'd made a little bit of a mistake at that moment. But we'll see what he says. So cool. In the rest day, exactly, between M2O and M2M, I decided to take part in the Camelo Run as part of the Holokai Molokai Festival. People thought I was crazy with M2M the next day, but I did it to take my mind off the M2O. Okay, so he knew what I was doing. And also the forecast was nuking, meaning I could just cruise around. Did some turns and did some non-pump foiling. Given I wasn't a contender for any sort of title or position in the race, I didn't feel like it was really affecting me from a fatigue perspective. My poor sleep and lack of ability to adjust to the time zone was more detrimental. Fair enough, John. Anyway, if you want to check out his blog, it's really cool.
If you want a bit more of a deep dive into him, go and have a look.
Maybe from there we can bounce to Sven, the content that you're putting out at the moment.
The comedy content.
Why don't we just start with using that tiny wing, because that was pretty clever.
The micro wing,
the micro wing,
like an April joke thing, because I rocked up at the shop, and I think Sully came back from China and brought this wing and something like that, and I saw that in the shop and I said, oh, what's that? And then they say, that's Sully wing. I said, can I use it? I want to do some funny videos. And then we went towing, and I used it like a funny thing, so like doing some funny stuff with it. And also my daughter used it as well, and on the beach as well, trying it around and things like that. So it was pretty funny, like the micro wing.
I remember I saw that video and actually initially thought that you'd used it to get out the
Okay,
back.
yeah,
And I
yeah,
was
I
like,
think
I
there
was,
were some
I saw it, I was
guys-
like, what? That's not possible.
Yeah, there was some guys there, and then I thought it was obvious, something like that, because of the program. Then there was some comments also, I see the jet ski in the back. So, yeah.
Yeah.
So, no.
But yeah, that was very funny.
There was also the recent ray gun post about
Yeah.
that was a good one as well.
The ray gun was really cool, yeah.
Do you reckon foiling's going to be in the Olympics?
Yeah, may as well talk about it.
Maybe, I don't know, but I don't know. It will be hard. They have to first figure out what they're doing for disciplines, because it's always growing. Maybe I think definitely like this downwind racing has a potential. Definitely.
Yeah.
I don't know if you could get like prone or something like that, or winging. Maybe wing racing. I think all this racing stuff maybe could work in a like Olympics or something like that.
Yeah.
But yeah. We will see what the time brings. So,
Yeah, who knows? It seems to keep changing in new sports.
Yeah,
added
they
every
got rid
year,
of breakdancing, so maybe Brisbane.
Yeah. Foiling? Nah. We'll see.
We will see.
Yeah, I mean, jumping off from that micro wing, I just wanted to say, like, that's clearly something that's very fun.
Yeah.
How are there things that you do that like keep foiling fun? And it might not be very hard for you, but like
always fun.
Yeah.
I'm always foiling it. It's like so much fun.
Yeah.
It's the best thing to clear your mind and stuff like that. So it's like
yeah.
always
Cool.
really, really fun.
Just freedom.
Fun. Yeah.
Exactly. Awesome. Well, I don't know if there's anything you'd like to bring to the podcast that you haven't talked about already. Something you'd like to talk about? I never really know.
I never end it.
When we run out of questions, it's kind of tough. But if there's anything that you'd like to
once we finish
say,
the run sheet,
or like whatever. Otherwise,
I thought you had more questions.
I know. We tried.
I've got one. Where are you from?
I'm from
Initially,
Germany.
initially, yeah.
From Germany.
Yeah. Is there much foiling in Germany?
Nah, but there's a cool guy. You maybe heard about him? Only Foils?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Lucas Schuler.
Yeah.
He's like nuts.
Yeah.
He's a crazy guy. And I think I think that's getting pretty big now in Germany as well, especially like this pump foiling, river foiling, definitely winging. But they're winging. You have to be careful. The Germans that they ban quite often stuff like straight away, like foiling. They ban from some lakes and stuff like that.
Okay.
Because it's too dangerous and things like that. But I hope they're getting getting around there. But I think like this pump foiling, and
like dock foiling, almost.
dock starting and things like that. That's pretty big in Europe. It's coming. I think it's coming pretty big because there's lots of new gear coming. Also, Access springs like bigger wings and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Especially for pump, like dock starting and stuff like that. It's really.
Well, I think it's also
really
quite
cool.
big that like river and lake, like dock foiling in Canada and places like that. America, I think as well. Maybe not Hawaii, but places which are more like not so close to the coast. And it looks wicked. Some of the videos.
It's also here on the river with the guys chasing the boat wakes. It's so much fun. There's also another guy who's chasing boat wakes in Switzerland on some lakes.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
We're pretty.
It's like.
Yeah,
it's mind blowing always when I see them, and they're doing like runs and chasing the ferry for 20 k's and then the next ferry back.
Yeah.
And they're having a blast. So and I think that's really getting bigger and bigger in Europe.
Yeah.
Especially that, and maybe also downwinding, because now you don't need many or big bumps or something like that. It goes like micro bumps, and it's like
we could almost have a crack to Rottnest with on the ferry, behind the ferry.
No, I think it's too fast. I think
it's too fast.
It is pretty fast. Really fast.
I think it's too fast. But you guys you went to Rottnest.
Yeah, I've done that.
Like this easterly one.
I've done that a couple times.
Yeah.
I mean, I think it's kind of tricky one to speak about, because I think people do really need to be quite careful doing that. Yeah. And I don't want to just seem like we did this off like a whim, just went out to Rottnest. It's something you do like really want to think about before you do.
Yeah, definitely.
Obviously, like the biggest concern is crossing the channel, because at some point you have to go across the part where the big cargo ships are crossing. Yeah. And you definitely don't want to be in that spot at the wrong time.
That's what I had also when I was inside Garden Island. There was a big cargo ship coming, and it's super scary.
Yeah, you don't realize how quick they move unless you like actually focus on watching them, or you're close to one, and they move really fast.
They move really fast. It's very scary, and then Yeah.
And I mean, obviously you're also just out in pretty much the middle of the ocean. At some stage, you're 10Ks offshore, so you want to make sure you got the proper safety equipment with you and like a backup plan and things like that. But yeah, I mean, it's an amazing thing to do. The water is so clear out through that channel, and the bumps, like, initially it sucks because there's nothing if you're going on an easterly, but about halfway through, they really build up, and they're pretty cool. And they're so, like, it's kind of like doing it in a lake where they're very lined up as opposed to...
So they must be really clean or like that.
Like sort of swell lines more so than windmills.
Yeah. They kind of get a bit messy as you get right close to Rottnest because some funky stuff happens with swell and things.
Yeah.
So I think that maybe they're hitting the island and
exactly.
Like
probably. But there's like probably a 5K stretch where it's awesome. So out of the 20Ks, there's 5Ks, which is amazing.
But it's pretty cool going there, so, and then go back with the ferry and things like that.
Yeah, it is a really cool experience. I found something on the sheet that we missed.
Yeah.
So this is maybe not the best topic to talk about, but just injury-wise, can I ask, were they caused by foiling or was it a separate injury?
I think because I have a removal company and I did lots of moving, and in the beginning when I came over to Australia, I started this removal company, and I went like crazy on every job, and we did like spas and pool tables with like, me and another guy. And I think that maybe was the thing what I damaged a lot or something like that. But in the beginning, actually, when I came, because surfing in the end was really bad because I was sitting a lot in the water and waiting for waves. But then I started foiling. It actually helped. But I think I never healed that proper or something like that. That's why I'm now out of the water. So that's why, but I'm pretty lucky. I didn't have any issue, other like injuries with foiling or something. Yeah. Sometimes you hit the mast hits you or something like that. But it's nothing bad ones. Nothing like where you say, okay, that's like because I think still foiling is a really
low impact.
If you have all the safety gear, if you're using a helmet and an impact vest, and you normally be careful. You're not. It's not that dangerous. It looks dangerous, but it's not like. I think kiting or something. If you're attached to the kite, I had more kiting accidents because it pulls you over the beach or something like that. Yeah, it's way more dangerous. I think so. It's like foiling is if you know what you're doing or maybe doing a course or something like that. It's not too bad. It's like
that's right. Yeah. Well, as long as you know like where your foil is and where you are, it's sort of it's quite easy to. Yeah. But also with your injury, have you been doing much rehab, or have you just been?
I do lots of physio and Pilates at the moment. So that's what I did Pilates before, but I switched now Pilates to like a physio Pilates. Oh yes. Where it's more controlled, so there's somebody watching you all the time. But I think it's better because I think I did a little bit stuff like wrong, and I like to do everything pretty extreme. So I went then I went full on Pilates, and I should have done it maybe a little bit. Slower, and I think so that with like a personal trainer. I think we normally 3 guys in a group, and that's like better.
It's a bit more targeted. Awesome.
Pretty cool.
Okay, well, I think we might have to end because my camera's just died. So no one will be able to see me say this, but I mean, thanks for coming on, Sven. It's been awesome to chat to you.
It's been really good.
That was great.
Yeah.
Thank you guys.
Thanks for filming earlier as well.
That was really awesome clips.
Yeah, before they ripped you off the beach.
So that's cool.
Well, thanks very much for watching, guys, and we'll see you in the next one.
Awesome. See ya.
Cheers.
Bye.